right, guys, welcome back to the ALGS channel. Hope you're all doing well and having a great day. My voice is recovering ever so slightly. However, for the most part, I feel absolutely amazing, and that is the best part for sure. Today, we got a lot to uncover, a lot to discuss, a lot to talk about, from an Apex Pro player, content creator quitting, and unfortunately stepping away from the scene. We also got some drama regarding some of the international scrims and how a lot of this stuff is working, and even some of your favorite pro players looking for a team and actually announcing that they are struggling when looking for some of these players. So let's jump right into this one. First thing that I wanted to mention here, obviously what I just talked about, was Zach Mazer, former Cloud9 pro player. This guy has definitely been very well known in the scene, and everybody loves Zach, and everybody's really weirded out, I guess, right now at the fact that, you know, the boys aren't back together. The boys are not sticking together with the Cloud9 roster. Where exactly is Zach going to finalize himself, and where will he eventually stick, I guess, ever so more permanently here? So this was the tweet he made just a couple of days ago. He said there are so many good fragger players and not enough IGLs and supports to fuel it. It's impossible to form a new team without going through entire challenger circuit since they overlap 3 of the 4 weeks. I can't find any loopholes. Anybody got some ideas for me? So I think one of the biggest things that we see in FPS games is people always want to be the star of the show. They want to be the fragger who's dropping the 20 bombs, who's definitely popping off and making a name for themselves. However, one of the biggest, and more important features as well is being an IGL, being actually to bring that curriculum to the team and bringing that, game plan and sticking to it and being a leader. A lot of people don't want to do the dirty work, unfortunately, anymore. They just want to shine and show out and be a fragger. So it looks like Zach obviously having a little bit of frustrations there. Hopefully he can figure it out, and hopefully there will be some place for him back in the pro league scene, and hopefully soon there will be some place for him back in the limelight once again, because we definitely love how big of a name he is. He definitely brings a lot of the rivalry there, and hopefully that will be the case. Now, also wanted to mention this. We had some drama regarding some international scrims. Obviously, the ALGS in London is coming up very quickly, less than a month away. The tournament will already be over. So these teams are not only doing their scrims to get better, but now they're actually starting to do international scrims where they can actually play against some of these APAC teams. They can play some of these European teams. They can actually try to just kind of come together and get a little bit more familiar with each other's play style. And we're going to talk about the APAC teams as well in this video. So this was actually coming from Cutnoid saying international scrims are now kicking off. This is our first look at the teams from all regions as they begin to prepare for LAN. The full January schedule can be found here. Unfortunately, it looks like this thing has been deleted. I don't really know what for, but yeah, they have started kicking it off, and that takes us to our next topic. So this kind of mixed in with a couple others, but Minus Tempo, which is the player manager over at TSM, said, do we run international scrims this Tuesday? A little late notice for Monday, but we can start a day early. Give the fans of Apex Competitive more to watch. On a side note, what do you think should be done to improve scrims? Because we've got 3 weeks of it, and feedback is obviously important. So now that they're approaching the LAN in London, now that they're starting to do international scrims, the question is, how can you make these scrims a little better? Because one of the biggest concerns here, as you can see from pro player His Watson, he's convinced that scrims will never be a good quality. The scrims we played at LAN were awful. If people don't take those seriously, they won't take any scrim seriously. So unfortunately, Minus Tempo agreed as well. What could possibly be done? And Noko actually made a suggestion here, and we actually do, I guess, have a little proof that it does work, that if scrims were played always with a match point format, that would be the best. Game 6 format is good and all, but the point of scrims is practice, and good practice happens when all teams are trying from the beginning to the end. It is your job, and there's no excuse for not wanting more games. And then pro player Davis also said, we've ran several match point format scrims, and it was some of the best quality scrims that we ever played. I think it would be really good, especially from viewer perspective, to see a lot of match point scrims as well, because they're kind of like series, full-blown series that just simply don't count for anything. But at least you can get a better understanding at where these teams are currently sitting and who currently is the best. Now, it's crazy though that Noko decided to chime in here, because we also have another story from Noko. You guys know he's a content creator, but he's also been kind of somewhat pro player-ish. He's competed in a lot of the stuff in the past. He's competed in pro league a little bit in the past, a lot of the challenger circuit as well. And there was actually a little bit of drama with Noko competing a couple years ago, because I think he got a pro league spot over someone else who definitely should have deserved it. I believe it was the old XSET team, but regardless, he made this tweet last night, and unfortunately it looks like he is going to be officially done with competitive Apex, and said, that was my last competitive Apex run. It has been a blast and a fun thing to do in the past time, but Apex comp just isn't what it used to be for me. I'm going to focus on ranked and just vibing and having fun. GG's to everyone. and unfortunately also said it's kind of like a mouse and keyboard player thing, as we will see in my main channel video today. But he actually responded to someone today basically just saying that the aim assist is just too good nowadays. Like, you know, why would you be playing on a mouse and keyboard when you can go play on controller? And obviously that seems to be the way that a lot of pros seem to be moving. I guess I might as well show it on screen here as well, but this was coming from Inhuman saying Apex controllers were like, if aim assist is OP, then just switch. And a bunch of pros did, and now those dudes are completely silent. And that's when Noko basically said that aim assist is ruining the game for him personally. Now, the last couple things that I wanted to mention here, this was actually coming from a pro player in ALGS Challenger Circuit yesterday saying, anyone want to explain? This is crazy drama. They need to fix this. I don't think this is really fair in my personal opinion, but why are Pro League players getting an automatic 1,500 points given to them in Challenger Circuits? A lot of these quote pro players are not even performing in the CCs. You're really trying to tell me that just because they cut the line card, 1,500 points equals 3 Challenger Circuit wins? Nah, fam, that's definitely not fair. So basically the way I'm understanding this is that if a pro player is on a team, the people on those teams get 1,500 points, and that point system kind of helps you getting into the Pro League qualifier. But obviously some of these pro players that are in the league that are playing on these teams are getting free points because they're not even placing well in the Challenger Circuit, and just because they're deemed as a pro player from the Pro League, they just get like brownie points. You should be having to obviously perform and prove yourself every single time you play. Obviously there's more to the story. A lot of people are trying to explain it. I think it is crazy nonetheless. It definitely is a very, very weird rule. I guess I'd like to have a little bit more in-depth explanation as to how this rule works, because definitely on paper it does not seem like it makes sense. Now finally, wanted to mention this very quickly just before we close out the episode. So all 5 APAC South teams have now finally been signed and will be repping an org at the LAN in London, saying as much as we love the meme teams, the names, you know, like the chicken sandwich, the team burger in the past, I'd rather all of our players be making money. And that's definitely the case for me as well. First time that this has happened, we actually saw the ALGS year 2, like not even just the split 1, not even just split 2, not even just a random LAN, but the actual world championship had unsigned teams at it, which I thought was absolutely insane. If you're good enough to qualify for that stuff, you definitely should be getting some kind of offer from some org somewhere. And I'm glad that a lot of those teams that came from that have now finally been picked up. It looks like the Apex South teams have been picked up as well. So it looks like a good direction for the Apex Legends esports scene altogether. Let me know what you guys are thinking down in the comment section below. Leave a like on the video if you guys did enjoy. Subscribe to the channel if you're new as always, and to keep up with all things ALGS. I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care of yourselves, and until next time, I'll see you later, Gators.